I'm here today in Parliament Square to support the campaign by nurses and other public sector workers against the public sector pay cap, which has been in place now for 7 years. And that's left people in a very difficult situation. Many people struggling to pay their bills, pay their mortgage, their rent, and put food on the table. I'm here with Rita and Joe, who've been affected by the pay cap. And just going to ask you, Rita, why are you here today? What is it that you want the government to do?
I want to scrap the cap. I want to give nurses a fair pay for the work they do. I don't think they are aware. It's just piecemeal that they give, considering the amount of salaries that they get.
How has it affected you personally, this pay cap, over the last 7 years?
Well, to be honest, I'm retired, but I support. I've been a nurse for 37 years, but I'm still involved in the local hospital, and I go on to wards and I see what the nurses have to deal with and the pressure that they're under. And they're working 12-hour shifts and they're just absolutely worn out.
Thanks. What about you, Joe? Why are you here today, and what is it you're calling on the government to do, apart from strap the cap? What would you specifically like them to change from today? What message could we give to Theresa May?
Well, I think they need to value public servants. I mean, I've been in the NHS for 35 years, seen many changes, but never felt as devalued as I am currently. My partner works for a local authority, exactly the same scenario. I've lost many friends from the nursing profession who've retired early. And I look around my office, we're all my age, we're all in our 50s. What's going to happen? We're not going to attract nurses. Cutting the bursary, what's going to happen?
People are telling me that morale has never been lower in the National Health Service. Is that your experience?
Absolutely. I know that, I always say to my colleagues, 7 years ago we were perhaps whinge, we might say all things like everybody does. But over the last few years there's been a definite change. And after all these years you really do notice that the morale has dropped. Because it's not just the lower pay, it is the working conditions. It is what's expected of you. It's the cuts in social care. It's the cuts in everything. There's less doctors, there's less nurses. Nurses are doing jobs now that doctors used to do for less money. And I've got 2 kids starting university as well. So in every way you're hit.
Well, what I think is very clear from today, there is a huge degree of solidarity from across the National Health Service. I think people are certainly working in the National Health Service and the public services supported by the general public, and I'm convinced that if we stand together we will actually win. We will get the change that we need, because people working in our public services, working in our National Health Service, deserve a pay rise, deserve to be valued, because it's our National Health Service and public services that define a decent society, and this pay rise is long overdue.